Hello everyone. In today's session, I'm going to do a tutorial on sed and awk programming language. Sed is a utility and awk is also, you could call it a utility, but at the same time, it's a awkward programming language or scripting language that is been used for so long and is have a lot of features. I'm going to show you the interactivity of this sed and awk usage in real time. So the reason I'm doing this one is that because one of the uh, user of my YouTube channel, he requested this one. Let me just show you. This is my YouTube channel. At MyWebUniversity is the channel handle. And when you watch it, I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you learn something and make some nice comments, and then subscribe on our channel as well. And just to show you what the user was asking for, I posted this one a couple of days ago, and then this a tutorial on what is xterm, xclock, xcalculator, xeyes, all of those ones. And then I noticed that one of the user here asked me and say, please do a video about real-time use of cases of awk and sed. So I said, sure, I will do that one interactivity as soon as time allows. So tonight, after one day, I'm just going to make this video for you. And for all of those users that are interested in awkward programming language, as well as sed in an interactive mode. And this is a very good question, what you asked for it. And I'm going to do it, and I see that I put a like on it. The reason is that this is a very important question. If you're an admin or system administrator or developer or any kind of a person that do provide support for interactivity through command lines, then awk, sed, grep, and cat, cut, all those commands are very, very useful. And I'm going to show you two of them tonight. I have covered a number of those videos already. If you just look at this video, for example, that I teach, I taught that class at Pasadena Bash Shell Scripting, Pasadena, about 4 years ago in spring of 2020 at Pasadena City College, as you can see here. I put it on the description. And this course was about 1 hour and 57 minutes of my lecture that was 3 hours long, but I just posted about awkward programming portion of that video, which was almost 2 hours long. So you can watch it. It is a very comprehensive examples of scripting and bash scripting, and also command line syntax and usage of awk, sed, grep, and all the other commands that are within the looping and scripting it to do a lot more there. So this video is going to, however, this video was done on a CentOS that was 4 years ago. CentOS is end of life already. About 2022 was 2 years ago, end of life. And Rocky replaced it. Rocky Linux 9.2 is the latest one. On the Red Hat side, also Red Hat 9.2 and 8.9 has been up and running. So I'm going to do the demo on Red Hat, which is kind of like Red Hat, Rocky, and CentOS. They all are Fedora distribution. So it is the same kind of syntax. Whether you use it on Linux or Unix, awk and gawk and new awk, all of that one, or nowadays symbolic link to gawk, GNU awk, and that would provide you the details. Also, if you come on MyWebUniversity.com and just under the search, not under this search, if you search here, it will go to YouTube. Obviously, you could find a lot of documentation and very nice tools and everywhere that you go, including like some documentation on geeks4geeks.com, which I show you the link here. This is the very nice documentation that if I missed it, I just want to point out that they did a good comprehensive list of syntax and examples and situation that could help admins on the fly. If you just forget the syntax or passed a certain parameter that you had a glitch on it, you could look at the documentation, and it will help you, because nobody is going to memorize every command with every flags, every syntax, depending on how many languages you're using. Python, C, Perl, C++, Java, Go, Lisp. There's so many of them, right? Shell, Bash, and everything else. So if you just are coding, from time to time, you need some refreshment. That's a documentation I would provide you there. And at the same time, at MyWebUniversity.com, I wrote a lot of documentation for you here at MyWebUniversity, as well as you could watch all these videos and go to my YouTube channel. You could go to this next page. This is the entire book that I wrote online. Is called The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. It's about 13 chapters, and each one of them, they give you a lot of documentation. For example, on Linux Ubuntu or Red Hat, you could look at it. There's thousands of, like 12,000 PDF files right here, just on Red Hat. So all of them are very nice formatted, and you could look at it. For example, if you're looking for awk, and then you could just search for it, and right there is the search. 2 of 2 is matched. Here you can just look at it, and then I print you the PDF file here. Usually the manual page is in a text format, so you have to be logged on a Linux machine. But in my situation, there was a need for all the students that they could not access to every documentation, every Linux version, every Python programming and everything. And I sometimes know that certain companies provide those documentation. On the other hand, there are a lot of students say, Wahid, I cannot buy the book. Can I just get this documentation like in a PDF file? So I wrote that one Python program to generate about 32,000 PDF files within these 3 or 4 chapters that I did. Whether it's the C header files or the Linux Rocky, the C header files are not PDF, it's an HTML file format. So, and this one is the Rocky Linux manual, this one is the Red Hat, this one is dynamic generation, and this one is Linux manual pages on Ubuntu PDF format. And this one is also on PostScript. So like, let's say you search for something that is a PDF file, for example, and look for gawk. And if gawk is not there, let's look for awk. Awk is not there either, so I'm going to search for sed. And sed is found, and then I just have to install the software and generate the PDF for it if it is not found. But the ones that are found, or is already the software was installed, and I did that one. So now sed is there, and then you can see the PDF file in a very nice format. At the same time, with this format, if there's any link on it, so then I just have the link in PostScript printed for you. That way you just could go sed.this and then read the whole information here. And then similarly, if you are looking at another link here, let's say another link here that is provided, you could just go to that link. So it's really nice. It's code reusability in that way. A lot of the documentation that I'm providing you here are available for you here. At the same time, if you're searching it on Linux manual pages and PDF format, there you could also search it here. So whichever command you click on, you get the output in PDF format. And then I'm going to go to this one. I could search for a command, like for example, let's say I'm going to search for awk, and if awk is available, and then this would be printing. But if it is not there, you yeah, it actually even on the Ubuntu, I did have it. I'm not sure why it did not come up there. Maybe I typed it a little bit different, but it is already available. So if you search here and then awk, and then there's some link on it, also you could just go to the links as well. And then let's say you go for GAwk, which stands for GNU awk. This one also, that the documentation that I'm providing you, because there's no way in the world that everything that we cover every example, everything, because just on my documentation, there's 32,000 of them in PDF format. And some of them are like 400 pages long, or 2 pages or 100 pages. So it is all these examples. Nobody can show you every example and just say this is there. So when you have these your fingertips, just to type in the command and get a list of them, you're usually not logged on a Linux machine. So I made this documentation for, depending on what platform you need it, I just generate that one based on those platforms. So you have it for Rocky Linux, for Red Hat, for Ubuntu, and then also for Ubuntu in a PostScript format, PDF format. There's two of them showing Ubuntu here and Ubuntu here. The difference is this one is just my Python program that generated the manual pages in PDF format that does not have the links there. But then this one is my Python program that generated the entire PDF file, as well as having the links, so you don't have to worry about, well, let's say you search for Node.js, for example, and then, sorry, I'm talking about this one. So this one is similar to that one. So if I say search for Node.js, and then Node comes in, and then the documentation at the bottom, there's a couple of links here. So then you can go to those links, and then you could be just searching for whatever site that GitHub or something that was on that documentation that give you further documentation. Like here, assuming you're a student, you're learning, and or a developer, you're coding, and you say, well, nodejs.org is the website. I want to just go to application program interface, the API calls, and then you can see all this documentation for you. So, and whether you want to see the debug, or you want to see DNS or anything that you do, you just click on it and then just get further documentation. If you want to see the OS module, then all the OS modules and function calls and everything are showing for Node.js. Similarly for the file system, similarly for other modules. Okay, the path and everything else. I'm going to come back here on this documentation, that I say, if you're coming on my website, I have already built some of the stuff with awk, some videos that I have made. I'm gonna just show you that if you come in at my YouTube channel, and then not at this search, you just search for this one for awk, you will see all the videos that I have already made. This is a video about 23 minutes, awk scripting tips and tricks. So it's very useful that if you just want to know a quick way to do it, like how you do Hello World or something. I've already done those ones on previous videos. This one, learn awk programming in one video. This is the one that I was showing you earlier, about 1 hour 50 minutes, 57 minutes. This is the video, learn awk in one video. So you're welcome to watch that one, comprehensive list of awk scripting, and that one covers it. It's about 2 hours, 3 minutes short of 2 hours. And then there's other smaller videos also here that I have. For example, this one, AWK, that I wrote a shell script to just make like a banner for it, and gave the name of the 3 developers that came out, which is Albert, and then Weinberger, and Kernighan. Brian Kernighan is still coding on as of today, but you can get this information also from manual pages there. So let's just do the information that we could search for. So let's see how useful is my PDF file. I haven't checked that one. So if I just come back on the website on this one, go back to this one and search for geawk or GNU awk, and then this PDF file gets updated. Notice that I'm creating it dynamically, generates on the fly. It's a nanosecond, it just gets created dynamically. Whatever command you type in, I just generate that PDF file for it and then post it there. So now if you just look at this one and then you say, well, this is good, but let's see if the name of the users are there. Since it's a PDF file, can I do a Control F and then search for Albert? Okay, let's see for Peter. Yeah, so Alfred, not Albert. So Peter Weinberger is one of the developer. Alfred Ahu is the next, the first one, and that stands for A. And Peter Weinberger is the W is Weinberger, their last name. So, and then Brian Kernighan is the one. I believe it's Kernighan, but in Farsi also you could call this one Kernighan. GH sounds like Heim. And so some German names and other ones, you could say that that's the last name. I don't know what type of last name it is, but like Afghanistan, GH sounds Afghan, but it is actually Afghanistan. The word, the name, you have to say it for the country that is there. People could make it on their own language, English or German or Persian or Portuguese, the way they want to say it. That's fine, but I believe Kernighan is the right one to say it, or Kernighan. Brian is a very nice guy. I listened to some of his discussion with sed and awk, and maybe programming languages and C, and he was a coder back then, and he's still coding on awk. So it's a very nice guy also. Other utilities that were written by Ken Thompson, that is a Go language co-founder. He's a great guy also. They did a lot of sed and Esteem editorial and ED and other stuff at the time. God bless Dennis Ritchie. He was the main C programmer that with Ken Thompson, both of them in 1969 at Bell Laboratory of AT&T. They just built Unix version of AT&T at the time. So let's come back to today's topic, which I'm going to cover awk and sed. So let's do this one. I'm going to just come back here and minimize this window, and then I don't need to be using anything but VirtualBox of Red Hat here at this time. So I'm going to log into the VirtualBox that it is sitting there for the display to refresh. So this is the desktop, as you can see on the image. I can change the color and anything that, so for every video I make I could just set up my environment differently, depending on what the video is all about. So I just open a terminal, and the terminal usually by default is this size, this font. But because I'm making it for YouTube, I'm gonna do Shift Control Plus to make it a little bit bigger. And then I just move it right here. So you can see the Red Hat logo, Enterprise Linux, and the activity here. If you just go to software stuff, all the applications that are there, extern, that video that I did last time is available. But if I just go to this current one that I'm doing it, as you can see here, I'm logged on as Wahid at MyWebUniversity.com. Watch my other video on echo $sign PS1. I give the entire details of how that is getting parsed and everything. So without further ado, let me just do a cat Red Hat -release. I'm using Red Hat 8.9 on the current session. And then I'm going to do which awk, and then say file user bin awk. And notice that awk is symbolic link to GNU awk. So then I say which gawk, that is the actual binary file user bin. Gawk is GNU awk programming language. So now we know that when I want to say type -a awk, and so it says that the user ben awk, and then same thing with gawk is also user ben gawk is the binary. But if I just I did the type and I did the file, if I just want to say what is this command, what is awk, it tells me that pattern scanning and processing language. Similarly, if I want to get that what is gawk, and then it's also saying pattern scanning and processing. Because awk is a symbolic link to gawk, it is just telling you the exact information. Notice that for awk, there's two manual pages. One is 1 and one is 1p. So in order for me to just get the 1, I could just simply say man awk. It will just give me section 1 of the gawk and awk. And then as you can see here, this one is giving that information. So if I look for Peter, for example, you can see that the name of the developers are written here, right? So at the same time, like I did awk here, I could say minus section 1, minus section 1 space, and then awk, it will just give me the same thing as if I just don't provide the section. So if I just do this one, it will give me the same information, section 1. But if I'm in, when I did the what is awk, it gave me section 1 and 1p. So now if I want to just get 1p section, then I get this one. Notice that section changed. So this documentation is for 1p, and this is the P stand for POSIX. POSIX stands for Portable Operating System Information Exchange. And basically the difference between an operating system that is not portable or POSIX and versus POSIX compliance, that means that any operating system, the two operating systems that you work on, Solaris and Red Hat, or Solaris and Mac, or let's say Linux and CentOS to Red Hat, or Ubuntu to another one, if they're POSIX compliant, that means the code is portable. Portability is POSIX, Portable Operating System Information Exchange. That's what that stands for. So be careful that when something is POSIX versus non-POSIX compliant, your code may just not work, moving it, migrating it to a different platform. So if your utility is POSIX, all those syntax with the -p, 1p is telling you that, yeah, this is portable on other platforms. So that's why the section is there. Same thing with man and GNU awk is going to give you the section 1 of them there. And I don't know if minus section 1p would also, it does not, because when we did the what is awk, it gave us 2 of them, but what is gawk, it only gave us 1. So how do you know that gawk does not have that one? You say, where is gawk? It tells you that gawk, as well as the gunzip file here with that for the info, and also the gunzip file for the section 1 man pages. This is the manual pages that is basically under user share man 1 section 1. So if I do the same thing with the gawk, notice this one is giving you 1 for section 1 and 1 for section man 1p. And then the format is awk.1p. So when I do minus s1, it's going to come out with this one. When minus s1p, it will read this one. I hope that is clarifying. So now let's come back on the usage of awk. So in order to do that one, let me go to tutorial. I just already made this tutorial, and inside here, all I have is a how-to section. And as you can see on my thumbnail, I just did the tutorial, and this is interactive, and I'm just making how to use the sed and and the sed and then awk. And sed, by the way, stands for stream editorial. The first S, as you can see on the option here, PowerPoint, every color that I make, I want to make sure that you understand. These are three different people, Albert, Weinberger, and Kernighan. So that's the three abbreviation of the thing. Sed itself, S for stream. And the reason I choose the color of green is stream. It's like really fast. It's not just like serialized. It's like multiple pattern could be matched with different syntax. And the reason that I put ED on a dark red and D is a kind of light red, those ED are just editorial. Originally, before Vim or VI was before VI and Vim was written, they were using ED. All the commands and that you're doing it with sed is still using ED syntax inside VI and Vim. So I will show you some of those ones interactivity as well. And let's just go back to here now. You know what sed stands for, what awk stands for. Let's say here what I have for you. So as I can show you here, there's a couple of programs that I already, I just have to go to shells directory here, because I have a lot of other language that I taught here, and then I'm just going to show you a couple of files that are awk programming. So you can see there's three of them. I just call it H for short. So if I look at cat h.short .awk, then you can see that is the file name. And if I just want to execute that file, obviously that is a script that I'm doing it. At this time, I haven't shown you anything with interactively. So if I just run it, the file, as you can see, are all executable by the owner and then by the group and by others. So I could just simply type in h.aw.k. That is how it would run this program. So how is this one is running? On the first line, you can see I have the shebang user bin GNU awk and then -f for file name. And then inside the file, the -f, I'm just having a begin statement and then print hello world. So if I want to run this code interactively, I could simply copy this line here and then paste it here. Say, go ahead, run it. And notice that it did not understood anything. Why? Because in here, I'm telling it how to use a GNU awk. But here I did not say it, so I have to put gawk in front of it. And then if gawk does not understand it, line 1, and then I have to say gawk, and then right here, put the code, because now I'm just saying this is where my code starts and where it ends. So the only addition lines and the interactivity, you could say GNU awk, and then if I just change it to gawk, it also works because awk is symbolic link to GNU awk. And then if I want to just say, for example, here, the begin statement, I want to just change something here, and instead of saying that hello world, and then I want to just write some more after tab, say just a new line. And then I'm going to put another new line. So now notice that it wrote hello world and then wrote the new line in this. And if I want to just generate a tab between them, I could just say here /t, don't go to a new line, but just put the new line after the tab and then just do it. So the interactivity here is there, that option is there. Now let's do this. I'm going to say cat h.awk. So notice that it is concatenating the line. If I want to see the -n, show the line number. So I'm going to first duplicate using awk how I print that file. And then I'm going to say interactively, if I want to do that, when I say awk, print $0, and then at this time I need to give the input of that file. Notice it just prints it as my first line here, cat. If I want to duplicate this cat minus n now, all I have to do is right here, put a number of rows, comma. Number of rows is going to give you the number of rows that is in that file. And then at this time, I showed you how to do that one. But let's say I want to do a grep command on this one. So now if I say grep minus I, what is it? Let's say I look for geoc on h.hawk. Notice that geoc is read because the alias for a grep command, it says the auto color. The color is automatically shown, so it matches there. But what I'm interested in, say the string that I'm matching with the grep command, I want to just find out using that grep command with awk thing. So remember here, I did the print there, and instead of the line number, if I don't want a line number, I could just say print this one. It will just print it, but I did not search for the string. So instead of doing another grep after the awk, I could do a grep here and say grep minus I. The word the string was what was the string was geoc. So I could say geoc here, and then that would find it. But I'm not going to do two commands here because awk already has a pattern matching. So then I could say here, say search for geoc first, and if you find it, then print it. Notice that it is just in one line there, right? So you could replace grep, cat, and other ones with awk. Sometimes the cat command, for example, grep command might be a shorter way to do it. Sometimes it's a longer way. It's your choice, which one you want to prefer to do it and how you would do it. That's why when one utility was having some features and lacking another feature, another programming language or another utility was born. Or some of them were already there and then something else just needed to fulfill the missing part. So, and don't just say this is better or that one is better. Just enjoy using it, and whatever you feel better, do it that way, your way. Your way or the highway. Just kidding. So let's just do it this way or your way. And I'm going to just do this. Notice that if I just don't print $0, I could still get the file name because print $0 by default is every line. So if the file is more than one line here, cat h.awk is there, but I want to print all of them rather than matching characters. Then I could just say, don't search for anything, just print everything. And if I want to get line numbers, obviously print an R there, and then that would just give you the line number. If you want to get the number of fields there, you could get this one also, number of fields. But what I'm saying here, h.awk has two lines, and then the first one has two columns. This is one column, this is second column. The third one has four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean stuff. So let's just do this one more clear for you on the etc password file. So I'm going to just say, and instead of this, I could say, give me the number of fields on etc password file. And notice that for each of the lines, it's giving me a separate line. So number of fields for each line. Some of them are 1, some of them are 2. Then I say, well, that's not consistent with what I'm looking at. This one is supposed to have only 7 fields. Why is that giving me for each line number? If I just get a line number of rows here, comma, and then you can see for each line number, it shows some of them are 1, some of them are 2, 3, 4, and then up to 5, 7. So let's get to the bottom of this one. 7 is not showing. Why? Is because this line separator, the awk by default, when you don't do anything, it prints everything here, right? And it prints everything. But notice that the space is the line separator here. So if I just go by default here and say print $1 only, then notice that it gave me the first space it finds, it prints it there. But if I want to do the separator by colon, which is the actual 7 fields, then I do this and say cat minus F, the field separator, colon, and then just do that one now, it is there. So all the username for it. So if I just say, okay, give me the number of rows here, and then for each of the line, it will say that what it find out the username there. So at the same time, if I want to get the number of fields that are there, and notice for each one of them were 7 only, because now we separated by the colon. So if I just don't want to get the files here and the username, you will see that for each line there's 7 fields, and that's consistent. So that is good thing that with the error correction of saying that, well, if the field separator you don't specify, by default there is a space. So now if I just get this one, notice there's a lot of inconsistency. That numbers are not matching. So you have to do this in order to make sure that you get all the 7 fields. So if I have 7 fields and I'm just going to print the 7th field here, then I could just say $7, and you could see that it's all the shell, whether they are having bin bash or no SBEN and other ones. Now, if you say, what about giving me $1, comma $1, comma $7, the username and then their shell. And then you say, well, that's good. I don't need the number of fields anymore because I know there are 7 fields. So let's just say I don't need the number of fields. I know there are 7 fields, and now for every user and then the group, the permission, the shell that is used there at the same time. And if I want to just say, I'm interested for the ones that are having no login. So now how do I match that pattern? So this one, now you just have to do a pattern here, say no login. That's the pattern that you want to match, and then after that we'll print. Notice that if you do this, command line and this syntax error. So why is it syntax error? Because this pattern, I put it inside the brace. I meant to write it outside of the brace, which is match the pattern first, then run the expression, and then or the script, and then on which file. So that's how syntax of awk is. It is an option here, followed by the pattern, followed by the name of the expression or the pattern to print, and then also followed by the file name. So the script is this part that I'm doing it. So now I'm looking for no login, and then search for that one. And now let's see what is the match here. No login, I missed the O. So now it's finding all that. And then if you say how many of them are there, and instead of more, you say word count minus L. So a lot of other utility, you could use it interactively with this. But if I just change this one to ben bash, so how many of them are there? Let's see, oh, the ben bash, because this one is another slash, I have to skip it. So now if I just say this and then don't do a word count on it, I get only 2 of them, and those are matching ben bash. So you could see what you're doing on that thing. And if you're just looking for home directory, let's see, for a home directory, just search for home here, and then we'll just say that 30 Wahid and ben bash. And so let's do a grep -i home on etc password, And then you see that it is matching this one /home Wahid, the user. Okay. And then that's one way to do pattern matching with awk and other ones. At the same time, I will show you some sed with awk and other ones, but let's just cover some of them one way or another one. I don't mind covering them extensively with different examples. So once we do one, you don't get confused between the sed and awk together, but I could just interactively could show you both when it comes time for both of them. So let's say I do an awk, another one. What is this other example that I have here? So cat hw.awk. And notice that if I do that one, I could also say awk and then print. I don't have to even say more than just that. So I could say awk print $0, or even don't print $0, just print itself, and then say give the name of the file hw.awk. Notice it is doing it, right? Again, if you want a number of lines in it to see how many lines are there, you could do that one as well. So let's say I go do this one the other way around. I just cut -n hw.awk. That's a fast way to just get it. But then I want to just say, don't do -n here. Let's say -n option was not there. How do I use awk to just add a line number to it? Then you could say awk and then just say print number of rows, comma, $0, and then close it and then do that one. So now I added the line number at the end of the file because first one was not there and now number of rows are there. Again, if you want to get number of fields here, you could that for that file also. For each file line that is there, how many fields are there? And let's do let's say echo hello world. For example, I say echo hello hello world, and I'm going to say a new line character. Notice if I just do this one and the new line character is not interpretive because I'm missing the -e. -e means run that expression and generate the new line character. So if I have a tab here, say hello, and then I just say hello and then /tab and then say word here with a space and bank. So that instead of that, I could do this one, and now there's a tab in there. And then if I just do something like new line character, obviously, the bang is the problem here. It says event not found, so you have to skip that one, and then do /n. That is what that problem with the bang is happening. So when it says event not found, because the bang is like a almost like when you say echo bang $, these are shell statements that it's going to just show your last statement that you passed on. So if I just want to run my last statement, then I say bang $, like say ls -l, and then whatever I want to do now. If you look at the bang $, it is that command -l is the flag that was passed on to that one. Okay, so if I say foo -r, and then now run level, then -r echo echo bang bang $, is going to say -r was your last argument. So whatever is the argument that you passed on, sometimes you could execute a command, say cd to this directory, and if the directory is already in the last command, you could say the cd bang $, you could just jump into that directory or rename a file that was already in the file, you could use bank $. But the fact that it says on the echo, this one not even not found, because we did not skip it, now we skip it, it's there. So how do I do an awk on this one? I could just say echo that one. I could still say awk and then print $0, and I could just print that one. So if I want to say only print the hello part of it, and then I say $1. And if I want to say print $2 only, then it's gonna just do the word. So that's how this information is there. But notice that because I'm doing with the awk, the skip is just writing that one as a character that was there. Sorry. So let's do star.awk. And then we did that HWAK. So if you run this command also, it is printing that same information. Let's say cat name.awk. I'm going to give you one more example of a script and then run it from the awk programming. So notice here that env, so when I type in which clear screen first, and then I'm going to do this, say which env. Env is a binary and that is going to load the program that you want to load, whether it's a Python interpreter, Perl interpreter, or Shell Bash interpreter, or awk interpreter. They are going to be loaded within that script. For awk, you need the minus uppercase S as a separator and minus F for that one. So when you do that one, it is good to just have it. And now if I say name.awk, it runs it as a hello Wahidullah. Since the name itself is assigned into a variable, whatever is this variable is going to get assigned to it within this begin statement, and then afterward it prints it. And then notice that new line character, tab, hello, and then comma name in this. So if I just, again, copy this line here, and then just say, go ahead, run this one. Obviously, it's not going to run this way because what is missing? You guessed it right. I'm missing the awk plus the begin the brace. I'm sorry, and single quote, and then close it, and then I'll go do that. So this variable that you assigned it here, you could just create a variable name called whatever, and then say name one here. And now if I just say print name, name is not assigned here. So I have to print name one. Whatever variable you declare, you have to assign it there. Whatever value you assign to it, that value is going to print it. So if I change it to Wahid, for sure, it's going to say hello Wahid. And then now if I just do another statement somewhere before the print statement, this print statement is too many of them. So I could just say, let's not give all these tabs and other ones. I'm going to just print it like this. And then that space is good. So let's say I do this, and that is going to say hello Wahid, right? Okay, now I'm going to show you some more example of scripting interactively. So the first example I'm going to show you is this example, which means that I'm going to look for the input file. On the previous examples, since the screen was a little bit short, I could not see everything. And somehow the input file is missing, or some of the parameters are inaccurate. You have to correct that one in order to do it. And this is what is going to demonstrate that example. On the etc password file, and since they're separated by a colon, and the 7 field is the shell of the user, I'm doing a length of the shell. If it is greater than 5, then just print it. So this is the F colon field separator. And then if the length is greater than 5, then print it. So let's just do that one. And you can see for all of these operands, the length is greater than 5, which is either 13, 9, or 10, or 13. So if I just want to just match exactly 9 of them, and then I could just do this, and it will just say if it is greater than 9. But if I want to do exactly 9, then I have to do the equality symbol, which is going to match those two. Similarly, if I want to do exactly 10, that is there. Or if I want to get anything less than 5, then I have to use the less than sign and do it. The rest of the syntax all accurate. So less than 5 would be not 10. So I'm going to do less than 5, and there's not matching anything less than 5 there. Even Ben Bash is just 4 characters, or if I just say print all of them without comparison, I take this if statement, and so then I say print the $7, which is the bash shell, and then the link for each one of them. So you can see that this the Ben false is there. And since I'm just doing that character, I could just say, well, it's the entire field 7. So I could just say, if I'm looking for a string matching for a no login, for example, or just look for false this time, false, then you can see that it is Ben false is the one that we're matching there with this. And if I want to do the bash, earlier there was 2 of them, and it's 2 of them with the size properly. Similarly for the no login, matching the no login. And now let me just do some more interactivity with awk programming, getting this file. So let's say I say cat -n etc password. You can see the file as separated by colon on each of line. If I don't do the -n, obviously I could get the entire file. And earlier I showed you could do awk and then say print $0, and then just say for this one etc password file, and that would be equivalent to your cat command, right? So I just missed a single quote here, and that's why it did that. So if I want to see the line number, I showed you here the number of rows here, it is there. And if I want to see the number of rows, comma, the number of fields, I could get that one. But let's say now I want to just say, and instead of this one, I want to just use awk completely to just look at the print this, and at the same time, I want to just do separate them by field separator, and then just get that one, and then just list the number of rows, number of fields for each row. So you can see they're all showing 7, 7, 7. But if I add the line number, number of rows, it will just, space there. And then clear screen, and then if you do this one, number of rows, there's comma in between them. So that would be accurate. So now I'm going to do one more thing here. This time I'm going to not print all of that. I'm going to just print itself, which means $0. But since they're separated by colon, I want to print only $1. So $1 is going to be equivalent to giving you the user ID names, right? So this is $1. I could accomplish this one with this command also. So cat etc password, and then awk, and then filter it with pipe symbol $1. This will just be equivalent to the previous command. But notice this one is, the separator is, I did not specify, so it's by default space. I have to do F colon, and then that one will just give you the name there. So now if I just want to do this command, I could also add up the number of rows here. So it will print each of the line number, as you can see. And if I just want to say only do a head -5, the first 5 of them, it will just list it. You can put the head command, tail command, all these other option, or you could just specify it here, say do it only for the number of rows that is equal, let's say 5, and just get that one. Number of rows, it has to be in front of it before that one. So and let's just do the same thing with the set command, because I haven't covered set, and it's 12 o'clock already. I don't want to cover awk forever. I'm going to just jump in on set. So now look at the set is the option. Before I do jump on the set, I want to do one more interactivity with awk. So one example, like let's say you're looking for all the files here, start.sh, and then you say, okay, list the start.sh awk print $8, let's say. See what is the $8 is the date timestamp. So $9 is the name of the script, right? So I could do that. I could do that command here with awk, but at the same time, I could say search for backspace and then slash sh. And so every file that has the extension .sh is there. Now the list is a little bit big. I'm going to just search for .awk, because there were only 3 of them, right? Was it .awk? Let's see why the .awk is not showing up here. .awk. Okay, so that is because notice that .awk. And when I did ls-l, this one is only, this is field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it did print 9, but because I'm not doing search for .awk here, so now it's going to show it. Since I search it with .awk here, and I want to just do something with these file names. So let's say I want to just back up these files. With this, I could just say while read var do, and then say echo backing them, backing the file $var now, and then say copy $var to $var dot back, and then ls-ld $var star. So for each one of them, I should have a file name and the backup for it, and then say done. Now notice that it says backing up. It made the backup extension of each one of them. Now, if I want to remove the file .back, obviously I could do a find command. Clear screen here, say find -name star.awk.back. And this would give me those lists, and then I say -exact rm, and then brace, and then just that would be a fast way to do it with this. And now that is gone. So if I just do the same command as before, ls-l star awk star, you will see only those 3. But now let's say the one that with the dot extension of .awk, those 3, I want to just back it up through the same command that I did here. That will just generate them on the fly. Now, if I just go up arrow and then say, show me all of those ones, it will show those. In addition, if I want to get the same command, instead of running the backup command, now let's say I want to just do ls -ld I did, and I'm just going to say, at the same time, just do a stat on it. A stat $var star. $var dot I could say dollar sign var and a space a dollar sign var dot back. And but since the dot back is a extension, I say dollar sign var like a variable here, dot back here, and then that one will just do a stat on it. Notice that for each file that I get a statistic on it, I could just get the information with dot back as well. But if I want to just only get for the statistic on the back one, I could just remove this stat, this one. And then now I only have this, that. So a lot of tools that you have there, you could use with while read var variables, and you could do the things on the fly. Like if I just say, go ahead, let's minus L star dot back, and then I'm just looking for star dot back and then awk and search for the name awk itself. I could say search for awk and then so I'm going to do brace, search for awk, and then print it at $0. So let's see what is this going to produce the output for me, saying that ls minus L. Now I just as if I did a ls minus L. So without this one, I still get the same information, but notice that that one is a lot more. I'm interested only on the one with the extension of dot awk and there because I'm matching that one. And now if I just want to delete those ones, I could say, for example, I could have just done one ls minus L right here, and then just I didn't have to do two commands. Sometimes you don't write too many things here. So you could say ls minus L awk dot awk dot back. So this will just give you those three, and then you say, well, actually, I want to get the 7 field, so I could say awk, and then print the 9 field. $9 would be the name of the files, and then now it is there. Then I want to just remove them. So then I say, while read file do echo removing the $file now, and then just say rm $file, and then done. And that's just that it is gone. So now if I just go with the up arrow, this one is going to show no files because we deleted. But the other files are with the extension of awk are still there, and we could do that. So there's a lot of interactivity with awk that you could do. Let's just jump into sed. Sed is also a cool programming language. So I have a file here called header.txt. I'm going to copy this header.txt to test.txt for playing with it. So I could look at the content of test.txt that has those information, and I want to just change some stuff and update it on the fly. Obviously, I could go on the vim and use sed to modify it. So if I say vim test.txt and then search for, this is the search string on the editorial ed or vim editorial at this time. And it's search for Wahid, for example, it finds it there. If I search for com, then every occurrence I could do next thing. So now if I want to just change that .com, I could say 1 comma $. That's the address in the set. You say substitute from 1 to end of file. Every occurrence substitute .com to .edu, for example. And then say globally, it will change that all of that on there. But then I say escape U undo, it is undone. So you could do a lot of search and replace inside VI also. I'm going to not save that information I'm gonna just say cat test.txt, it's there. Let's just do it interactively here. I could say test is the file name. I wanna search for using set and then -e for expression, and then I say substitute.com to .edu globally, and then the file name test.txt. This is going to replace it, but it did not replace it inside the file. It only did replace it where .com was to .edu. If you want to just replace it inside the file, you have to do -i interactively. End place. End place is going to change that file. If you want to just keep the name with the extension of .back, so it make a backup of it, that iBack will just create a file of that one. The original file test.txt is not changed. So you can see test.txt is still having that .com here. But now I have a test.txt back file that just got generated as a result of this -i back option. Since that one is created, now I say cat test.txt back, you will see that .com is replaced to .edu. Let me just look at it, see where it is. Cat test.txt back. And then you see that it was actually removed everywhere that it was there, because whatever option I did here, the backup was saved to that one. So the backup was saved because of that option that's saying that change it there. If you want to keep the change there, then you do it differently. Let me just do it differently. So I could say cat test.txt. I'm going to just change the .com to .edu, for example. So I'm going to say set -i, meaning end place. Then I say substitute substitute.com. I'm gonna say /.com, so it will escape that one. Maybe I didn't do that one last time, but I will just do that. And then match that dot, because dot matching any character. So you have to skip it. So you do that one. And then the easy way to do it is just to say com to edu, but you want to exactly use, if there's a word like commercial, you don't want to just miss that one. You want to change .com to .edu this way. And globally, and then the file name is test.txt. Now the test.txt is end place updated. Notice that if I do a cat -n test.txt, everywhere that I had the .com on line 7, it's changed to edu. And then right here, youtube.com will change to youtube.edu. But now I want to change it back because youtube.edu does not exist and MyWebUniversity.edu does not exist. So if I just want to update my file, I reverse it back by just saying that change the edu from to what string that you want to change. Now cat test.txt, that is as if I did not modify the file. It is the .com and then youtube.com. So that's a set in place. Another thing is that, for example, if you want to see the test.text, clearly in cat test.txt. If you want to just see the content of that file, you could just simply say cat -n, not cat -n, set -n, and then test.txt. That not -n, just n. This one will just print it n. And if you want to print a multiple of each line, like duplicate lines, then you can say this, and then P for print, duplicates, and then for the semicolon, actually brace here and then brace here. That would just, let's see, something is officially minus, and the n is here outside, and then you're printing it there. So this is how the syntax is. Some of the syntax, as I mentioned to you, if you haven't done it for a while, you will forget all of that passing, which option, what flag and everything. But if you forget it, you could just search on the internet, and there's thousands of documentation everywhere. Sed NP, especially the geek for geeks that I showed you, it's a very good documentation there with examples. So set NP for printing it, it will print that file. But what if I want to delete a particular line number, or just only print a string? So let's say I search for Wahid. I want to print the line that matches Wahid in there. And then this one will print everything. But if I want to just only match and the line number that matches this, I have to do the same thing, except that right here, I'm going to just say the line number. So I don't know what line number it is there, so I'm going to say 1, $, and then use this one and print it here. So wherever it's printing, it's the double printing with that match. So the match that was there, it is printing twice. So if I just want to do the youtube.com, print it twice, I could say YouTube. And then that would search YouTube twice. The word U is good enough for youtube.com. It matches that one. But if I don't want to print it just using the P command here, I could just get a syntax error. Doesn't have that information. So doing this with print statement, it will print. But what if you want to say, okay, I'm not going to search for anything. Then I want to just get everything and that is there and duplicate every line. So that's another way you could duplicate every line by doing this. And if you just say, what if I just do this, do a set n, and then just don't have to say specify anything, you just print it, and that would print the file only once. Okay, so this is printing the file like as if you just want to look at the content of it. This other example, like this one, if I say put an uppercase G there, it's going to put a new line character in between them. If you want more than one new line character here, you could say G semicolon and then G semicolon. That would print as many new line character that you want. So since I want 2 of them, it's there. Notice the actual file size. If I just do a clear screen and then say word count minus L test.txt, it is only 10 lines. And when I did the minus this one, it shows the 10 lines. And if I just say, okay, show me cat minus n, the line numbers also, you could do that one. And then at the same time, if you want to see with awk, you could just pass on this one with awk and then print number of rows in it. And then at the same time, print $0. So you could see how many are there with actual line numbers. So whether you do cat minus n or doing that one, it's there. But notice with the set with NP, this option, I could just say this with G option. This one, it's just did the 10, it become a lot more because every time I added more to it with printing. If I just say this one, there was 10 of them. The second time, let's say I do one time, originally it was 10, and now I just do 10 more blank line, and it is 20 of them. The next time I do another G, it's going to be 30, and then another 2G, would be, you guessed it right, 10 plus 40 is 50. So that size is 40. And if I want to only see the number of lines, that's 50 of them. So if I just don't want to print it, I mean, get the line numbers, total count, I could just get the whole thing. Notice how much space is added in that with the G. So let's say I do the same thing. Remember earlier we were searching for the word Wahid or something. Let's see if we see the same one. I want to show you if you want to print a line or so this one is searching for YouTube between line 1 and other ones, right? So since I'm doing a print, it is printing that line twice. And then I could say, show me from 1 to 10, and then minus n, and then only shows the line number that matched it here, right? So if I just say, at this time, if I just do another occurrence of this one with the awk, for example, I could have done say awk and then print $0, comma number of rows first, and then $0, and then the name of the file is test.txt. So if I do that one and then set it, it's going to just show the line number. At this time, I don't need to give the argument again. And then this one, notice that it prints it on the screen, but then also this line gave me the line number. Now I know that it was on line number 8 that was matching that one. So if I want to just delete the line number 8 from that file, I could just also say something like as simple as this, set minus set, and then and then let's do substitution of line 8 comma 8d, and then the file name test.txt. And then now notice line 8 is deleted. Actually, youtube.com, let's see, cat test.txt. Okay, youtube.com is on line 8. I believe it is on line 8. So yeah, line 8, I want to delete that one. So I want to show you this, and then cat test dot clear the screen here. So this is the example I want to show you here. First, I want to delete it. Notice that if I do this delete line 8 with the this option or without this option, it will delete it only on the second file if you put the redirection. The information is gone here on the display because I did not write it to out file. But notice that cat in one dash in test.txt is still on line 8, is still there. We say, well, we just deleted here. Why? This is only deleting it on the screen. If you want to delete it on the actual file, then you have to do -i option, set -i interactively in place, I mean, there. Now the file, when you do cat -n, that information is gone. So I don't want to delete that file. So what do? I say copy header dot text back to test.txt, and then I do my clear screen here, and then cat -n. Now youtube.com at MyWebUniversity is there. It has been a little bit long. I could have covered more on the sed and substitute replacement. One other example I want to show you with -e option of sed that maybe is going to interest you. And that is another example we could do. There's a lot of examples, honestly. I could not cover all of them in one video, 2 video, or 3 video even. It's a lot. So let me just cover one more example when you're matching more than one string. So let's say on the file test.txt, I'm looking for either the word Wahid or .com, and then I want to just search for those ones. So I could say sed, and then as I'm searching for it, I could replace it also. Minus E for expression, and then I say substitute Wahid long, and then if I want to just change that one to the word Wahid, shorter name, then I say change it globally, doesn't matter. Since it's only one occurrence, it will just do it in one occurrence. And then I want to just replace also another expression, say search for .com. Let's say search for com. Since it's that one, I'm going to say change it to edu. And then that would be that string also globally. And now what is the file name? The file name is test.txt. So now notice that those ones are changed here on the screen. But the output of the file test.txt again is not changed everywhere. So the .com is still there, and then Wahidullah is still there. In order for me to do it in place, I could say right here minus I. If I want to do it on the same file, I could do it on the same file, or if I want to give it a backup extension, I could do that one. Now I have a file test.txt, and I also have a file test.txt not dot backup. Backup similar to that one. So now if I just say that file, that one, you can see that .com has changed, and what did I change? I changed those minus backup. So Wahidullah changed to Wahid. Let's see why it did not change the name of the files. I mean the content of the file. So I'm going to say a def between test.txt and test.txt backup. It looks like there's no difference. Actually, there is difference. So some of the variable I did change it, but let's see why. And the one that was not changed for the .com was changed. What was my string that I wanted to change? I changed it for Wahidullah. Maybe there's some character that was not missing, that not matching. Let me just do this one and say change Lutfi to I can't change it to anything. What equal last name Lutfi, and I'm gonna say lowercase Lutfi, and then the .com is changing to edu, and test.back is the name. I'm gonna give an extension of back. Now test.txt, test.txt back, and then the size of those two files are the same, or no, 207, yeah, the same. So def test.txt and test.txt back, and you can see it change it for that change the uppercase Lutfi to lowercase Lutfi. The other part, Wahidullah, actually the .com was already com, substitute to edu. So this one, I don't know why it did not change it. Let me see for the test.txt that com. Oh, it was already edu, so it was already edu, it did not match it. If I want to run the same command with .edu, because Lutfi is not going to find, and now this time it's going to be changing the .edu to .com. Let's do the same thing with same name. Notice that this one, we want to just keep it as from lowercase, we want to change it to uppercase. let's just change it all in uppercase. So we know that the change is done. And then this one, since the extension is edu, I want to change it all in uppercase com. Right? So we could do that one and then just run it with the dot back. Now the test dot text dot I mean not back dot it's just text dot not dot. So cat test dot text back, and now notice that the names changed. So from edu the substitution still did not get placed. Let's see why. Lutfi is also not. Oh, I'm looking at the test dot back. Let me just do rm test dot text back, clear screen, and then I don't know what's my input file here. It's text, so I'm going to do that, and then now I say cat test dot text. So let's see if that test dot see that in the file got updated with in place in the past. So and this dot back is also changed, and this is all uppercase here. But let's see if this file is that file I removed it. So let me just do one more thing. Yeah, so if I just want to change in place or give it a different name, you got the idea. So the expression that with multiple one, you can do it. This time I'm not gonna give it on another extension. I'm gonna just look at the file one more time, say test.text, and then I want to just change it with using this command, but don't give an extension. I want to change it to itself so it's easier for us to look at it. Since the word is Lutfi in uppercase, there, I want to just change it to what it was originally. And then this .com extension, it was com extension, and I want to change that one to com and lowercase. I believe that should do it. Okay, and so now we're going to just run it. And then now cat minus n test.text. You can see on the, and there's a W here because I put an extra W here. So that was a typo, but you get the idea. Substitute from this to this, substitute from this to this. And now Lutfi that was uppercase, all changed to lowercase. Commercial.com that was uppercase, all changed to com.w. And then you get the idea. All right, so I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned from it. And if you were the candidate, the person that requested, there's a lot of videos already here. You're welcome to watch it, and then just subscribe to the channel and make more comments, and I'll fulfill more needs of yours and other ones. God bless you all. And if you're Persian from Afghanistan, I'm making videos for my countrymen, fellow friends and families and loved ones. So in Farsi, so you're welcome to watch them in Farsi. If you don't know English, it's not a problem. I'll make all of the videos for you in Farsi as well. And if you are watching or listening or going to YouTube to learn it, this website is also very nice. I built it for your teaching stuff. God bless you all. Have a nice one. Take care. And see you next time. Bye bye now.